Soul once again. I'm so lucky. At these summer events I get to meet such fantastic people as the likes of whom I have brought to you on the show. Sitting next to me right now is someone who's really quite eminent in the field of music. Producer, composer, pioneer in Punjabi music in the UK. Dole player, famous for his dole playing, tabla playing, yes. Let me introduce you, without much more of an introduction, to Kuljit Bhambra. Welcome to Soul to Soul.
Thank you very much, pleasure to be here.
I'm so excited. You have no idea how excited I was yesterday to be able to conduct our interview.
Okay, thank you very much.
Because I belong to a generation of people who may have had an interest in music, but you know, being a child of first generation Indians in the country, we were told to study hard.
Yes.
Music is a waste of time.
Yes.
But you know, music touches something deeper. So when I see someone who's followed his passion and is producing such creative work, and to be actually sitting this close, it's an absolute honour.
No, thank you very much.
I want to go back to your beginnings, because you had a similar route. You had to do your education first, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, like many immigrants that came, our family came from Kenya, so I was born in Kenya.
Right.
And I've been in Southall since 1968. So
Right.
this park actually is my route to school. So I went to really Southall Grammar School in those days,
Yeah.
and our house is right next to the park gate. So like a lot of people that came from abroad, they came with a very hard work ethic. And so my mum was already singing Kirtan in the Gurdwaras in Nairobi and in India. And she was the only person, so there was a Gurdwara in Stepney Green in 1967, 1968.
Right.
And that was one of the few Gurdwaras in England, or certainly in London. And so there weren't that many Gyanis who could read the Guru Granth Sahib in the Gurdwara. So my mum, because she studied Gurmukhi, and in fact she is technically a Gyani, believe it or not. So
And she did all this in Kenya?
She did this in India and then in
Okay.
Kenya. So Gyani means person of knowledge, someone
Yes.
who studied Gurmukhi, you know.
Yeah.
And so it's very unusual for a woman to be sitting behind the Guru Granth Sahib in those days.
Yeah.
So she used to recite from the Guru Granth Sahib, and then she sang Shabads. Obviously, wherever she went, there was no one to play tabla. So my father tried to learn to play tabla, but he wasn't very good at picking it up. And the story goes that I picked up the tabla and I played naturally. So I began to accompany my mother in the Gurdwara. But it was always.
Did she invite you to do that, or is that something that?
I think at the age of 6 or something it was. You're not invited. You're told what to do. You know what I mean? So it's like you all play tabla, and when they saw that I had a knack,
Yes.
they nurtured it. But it was still a hobby. Like music is a hobby.
It's a hobby.
It cannot be a career. It must be a hobby. So I did simulations. That I became I went to grammar school. Then I got a degree in civil engineering. Then I worked as an engineer for a while. And it's only I had a low point in my personal life, and then my marriage broke down. And that actually, in a strange way, that propelled me to go into music full time. So that was 1993.
Right.
And even though I'd already produced 4 or 5 platinum, I'd already done Rail Gaddi and Manjit and Hira. So I'd already done that in hobby time. So because my life was changing and I was at a crossroads.
Isn't it funny how adversity became the catalyst?
Exactly. I don't think I had the courage to do it naturally.
Yes.
But I still had the courage to do it when everything was pointing that way, because I thought I've got nothing to lose. I might as well
It's
go.
when a decision is almost forced.
It's forced upon me by the universe.
Yeah.
And then the moment I made that decision, I got this booking to play in Bombay Dreams in the West End with Angel Lloyd Webber. And suddenly, I mean, if you're in the West End, you get a very good salary.
Yes.
More than double of what I was earning as an engineer.
Yes.
And I was playing tabla, on percussion. So that proved to me that it was possible. And sometimes, when you buy a green car, suddenly you notice lots of green cars. And so it was like with me, music could not be professional. It was really, really much. Suddenly, when it was, I noticed everyone that was doing it, and it was like,
It's almost like that's the law of attraction. You start attracting those.
I suppose so.
towards you as well, don't you?
Yeah, there's like another parallel universe where it was all happening.
Yes.
And so now I never look back, and my parents are very proud of me, as you can tell.
Well, yesterday I saw Kuljit's mum on the stage at the Miller. I was so gobsmacked.
Yeah, I know. I was holding back tears there. She was just saying, because there was 3 generations of musicians. But and she's in her mid-80s now, but she's got grace and stature, and she's got power.
I chatted to her
Really?
afterwards.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
She was delightful. And I thought, I'm going to be interviewing her soon as well. I hope. She's a lovely, lovely lady.
Yeah.
So you left the world of engineering.
Yeah. Well, actually, I left engineering as an employment.
Right.
Some of my friends still joke that what I do is still a form of engineering. So when you play tabla,
Yes.
when you record tabla in the studio, that is sound engineering.
Absolutely.
So now it's not. Yeah, I did leave a 9 to 5 boring job, but I still use my skill set in the arts.
Yes.
So, like some artists, they're good at painting. They might not know how the canvas is constructed, but I can paint and I construct the canvas. I can play tabla, I can play music, and I can record it, and I know how to get it out. So I still have that engineering head, although I'm not work. So I interrupted you, but technically speaking, you're right. I left being a civil engineer, and I became a musician. Sound engineer in a way, yeah.
Can you pick up any instrument? And
I have a knack of being able to. Yeah, I can definitely have a go. I'm not going to be amazing.
I'm not going to hand you an instrument and say, "There, play that."
Yeah, I probably could pick out a tune on most things, but my main instrument is tabla and also harmonium, so I compose. So.
पटोला बन के नचना लेके चुन्नी काली नी गिद्दा पाओ हाण दियो मार मार के ताड़ी गिद्दा पाओ हाण दियो मार मार के ताड़ी पीड़ के पटोला बन के नचना लेके चुन्नी काली नी गिद्दा पाओ हाण दियो मार मार के ताड़ी गिद्दा पाओ हाण दियो मार मार के ताड़ी शराबी मेरे नैन नशीले राइयां नो पे डंग मार दे उड़ने सब जहरीले जावे कोई न बच के मैं तो नजर मेरी तो नाड़ी नी गिद्दा पाओ हाण दियो मार मार के ताड़ी गिद्दा पाओ हाण दियो मार मार के ताड़ी जद किधरे मैं पिंड चों निकला झांझर मेरी छणके रीजा लाला वेखण लोकी लंगा जद बन छणके अखियां दे विच भरिया जादू हर डक लेंदे हाड़ी नी गिद्दा पाओ हाण दियो मार मार के ताड़ी गिद्दा पाओ हाण दियो मार मार के ताड़ी मुखड़े तो जद कुंड सिरकावा गबरू होण शुदाई अंग अंग मेरा लय अंगड़ाइयां जिंद मेरी नशियाई जो बन वेख पई शर्मावे दिन चढ़दे दी लाली नी गिद्दा पाओ हाण दियो
Kuljit's talks yesterday in front of an audience, and you mentioned about how you are making a notation for Indian music, which Indian music has classically been taught orally, and it's never been written down, but you're doing that. Tell me about that. How did it start? What is this notation like?
How it started was, and I mentioned Bombay Dreams. Now, if you go to see theatre, say you go to the West End, so you see Bombay Dreams or Wicked or Phantom of the Opera, any show. So when you go to the West End to see a show, you're seeing it that day. But that show is on every day.
Every single day.
And it has
many
to be
times a day.
Many times a day, twice. And it has to be the same show.
Yes.
It can't change. It has to be split-second timing.
It's like every McDonald's burger has to be the same.
Exactly the same.
Yeah.
Now, if you walk into McDonald's and it's slightly different, you're not going to like it, and the business will go down. So, as a musician, you have to play exactly the same thing every day. Now, Indian musicians are not trained to do that. Indian musicians are trained to do one thing and never do it again.
Yes.
And that's the beauty of that. But the downside of it is no one else can play that. Now, you've heard of Beethoven, you've heard of Tchaikovsky, you've heard of all these people. The reason they died hundreds of years ago. We know, so because they wrote it down.
Yes.
Now, when they write it down, it means people can then play it. Our, I'm going to be a bit rude here, but our Indian mentality, and forgive me for saying this, but Indian mentality from a musician's point of view is a bit greedy. So if we have something, we like to hang on to it. We don't want anybody else to have it. And so, you know, the Guru Shiksha system is a very good system if you can find a guru. If you're living in Stockton or in Leeds, where do you find... And also the other thing is each Guruji has their own style of teaching. There's no universal style. Now, when you go to school, you get a recorder and you get a book. You don't just get a recorder.
That's right.
You get a book. It tells you what to play. There's music wisdom for you.
Yes.
In our world, you get a tabla or you get a sitar and he goes, keep playing, it will come, you know. Now, what will come? I don't know. Will it ever come? So, and then, say you go for a lesson, you can't pick it up at home. If you've got a book, you can go to bar 45 and pick it up.
Just practice that over.
Yeah. Now, sometimes when you love something, you can strangle it. You know? So it's like that monkey who's trying to steal nuts. You know, he can't get his hand out of the. So our system is a bit like that. Now, if you look. Ask yourself how many English people are playing Indian instruments. But people will say, oh, I saw one yesterday, or I saw a black man playing. That's like a gimmick.
Absolutely.
Everybody should be playing it. It should be in schools. It should be everywhere.
Universally available.
But see, teachers, they cannot teach Indian music because the oral system is spoken, and so when it's spoken in like Hindi or Sanskrit. So da, ge, tu, na, tu. How do you spell that? Now, you might say, I spelled da, D-A, D-H-A, D-H-A-A, D-A-H. So then a teacher will say, listen, I need to know the correct. Now, there isn't a correct spelling because da is not in English anyway. And also, you can't expect other cultures to speak our language. If you know, Titikatuna is so hard to say. I can't even say it.
Again?
Yeah, you've got Titikatuna. How do you spell Titikat? You can't spell it. You know. So these things, they are stopping other cultures from learning our music. And our music can only grow if other people play it. Like if, you know, I did a song called Real Gadi. It didn't get famous. I'm going to be controversial. It didn't get famous because it was a good song. It's not like the best composition in the world. It got famous because it had a function. People could make it, could dance. And secondly, everybody could sing that song.
Sing it.
You want people to sing that song. That's how songs get famous.
That's the accessibility.
That's it.
Bit,
but our people, sorry to be rude, our greatness comes from only I do this. Okay, that's
only
really good.
I can do it.
And that's very good for you. And then when you die,
it's gone.
You did it. Yeah, it's gone. So, you know, my mum had a song, Gita Pawandia, a very famous song. You know, Miss Pooja has recorded it. It was all done legally. We want her to sing that song. You know, we want people to. So that's how music is energy. It travels. You went da 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 da. You did that.
To share.
I didn't do that. You did it.
Absolutely.
So it works.
Yeah, yeah.
So you can't expect people to, you know that song, the Mundial Tobachkere, which is by Punjabi MC?
Yes.
I mean, it's great, it went in the charts. If you ask 100 people what the title of that song is, English people, they'll go, oh, I don't know, is that ding song?
Yes.
You know, it's, on one way it did some good, in another way it did a lot of bad, because it was like a gimmick. It froze nothing. It was 15 years ago. We have not had Punjabi songs in the charts, so that didn't open a door. It's like it closed the door.
Flash in the pan.
Yeah, flash in the pan. Anyway, it was a long answer to your question, but my mission is to. So I've written music for tabla, so you can read it. There's no dage tuna. There is left, right, open, close.
Okay.
Now all
simplified,
but all drums have.
So hang on, show me how would that go?
So you go closed,
Closed.
closed, closed. Then you have to make this hand into two. Yeah, so that's two, and close, closed.
Close, close, close.
Yeah, so that's di, da, da, da. So two there and one there. Di, da, da, da. Over here, di, da. Two there, di, da, da, da. Yeah, that's if we say it.
Okay.
If in my no sitting system, it's close, 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 close. Right, right, left, right. You don't need to know if it's di, da or da. It's just open or close.
Yeah.
All drums have two sounds:
Yes.
open, bong, and close. Bong. All drums have that.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, when you go close to a drum, you hear many sounds.
Yes.
But from a distance, it's open and closed.
Right.
Now,
So one echoes and the other just
one echoes
stops.
and one stops.
Yeah.
Now, tabla has two echo sounds, so you need to know that. But one's on the edge and one's in the middle. So
Right.
my notation system, in fact I'll show you, I might have a book, I might show you later on. My
Excellent.
notation system, there's a dot on the line. There's one line, there's two lines on the notation. The top line is for the small drum and the low line is for the... So when the dot is on the top drum, you hit the small drum. When the dot is on the low drum, so you go dong, dong, big, big, ka. You're playing straight away. If you go to Guruji, you might never play on your first lesson. You have to follow him around and carry his tablas. Then he might let you play na, you know.
So you've got to then have people who are dedicated enough to carry on. I mean, kids these days would lose interest so quickly.
Yeah, but
You know, if they're not going to even play for the first lesson.
Exactly, they've got to play first. And also, kids nowadays, they want things quickly.
Yes, absolutely.
They're not gonna sign up with a Guruji or whatever. They're not. They go out. Everything. I want it now. I want it now. I want it now.
Absolutely.
And with our system, what's also good, we've got the system that you can read.
Yeah.
Then, if you go to the internet, there are backing tracks that you can play along with,
Right.
and see if you're doing it right or wrong. So it's an easier. You know, it's about opening doors. Now, if you want to then become a Guruji,
Yes.
then please go and do that.
Yeah.
But at least the doors are
You've
open.
had that introduction.
Yeah, exactly.
So what's the uptake on this? Where are you making this available? To who?
This was used first time in Bend It Like Beckham the musical, which just finished recently,
Yeah.
and that system was in the show.
Right.
So when I took a holiday off, which I don't want to do 8 shows a week, right? So when I
Yes.
took time off, Bindi, my deputy, he played. I had 2 other deputies. They followed the notation system,
Yeah.
and that show was the same every day. It's a split-second timing. And also in Portsmouth, schools in Portsmouth, the teachers, English school teachers, are teaching tabla in the schools. And Birmingham starts in September next month.
Because normally in school, the music department, it's almost like, you know, your display cabinet of exotic instruments. You know, you've got some maracas,
Yeah.
and you might have a little miniature tabla there.
Yeah, you might have a tabla if you're lucky, but most likely it's broken.
Yes.
Now it's broken because someone's hit it with a stick. Now, if you see a drum, obviously you want to hit it with a stick.
Yes.
But you see, nowhere on this world, I'm going to turn my phone off.
Yes. Oh, I should have mentioned that earlier.
Yeah. So nowhere on this planet
Yeah.
can you buy tabla
Yeah.
where it says do not hit with a stick.
Yes.
Why? Why is that? You know,
Because it's just not done.
it's not done. And people, maybe we make money out of repairing it, but at least when you buy tabla, you know, if you buy medicine, it says do not, you know, do not drive after you. On the tabla, it should say, don't put it in the rain, don't sit on it, don't stack it, don't hit it with a stick. So these things need to be made open, but I think we enjoy to keep it like a secret, you know.
Yeah.
This is-
But as you said earlier, we have to open it up Otherwise, those skills die with the person.
Yeah, they'll die. Yeah.
Don't they?
Yeah.
So for all this work that you've done, you work with people like Andrew Lloyd Webber that you mentioned. So you're in mainstream, the world of music, mainstream, and you're working with eminent people, and you've had your own recognition. As I was doing my research, they made you an honorary doctor at Exeter.
That's right. Yes, right. Yeah.
So what's your involvement with Exeter?
Exeter, what happened was Exeter, the other side of music. So music has many facets. So you have a concert, you have music in films, so that's soundtrack music. So I played that in the studio, then they put it in the film. Then you have theatre music. And Exeter University, there was an Indian woman that works there called Jerry Dabu. She's from a Farsi community from Bombay. And Jerry, for some reason, I don't know why it was Exeter, but she decided to do a project on British Asian theatre. So 30 years of British Asian theatre, from all the work of Dara Arts, Rivco, and it was all documented. So there's a book about it called British Asian Theatre. So I met her from there, and so I supported her, and I gave a little talk there, and then I got an honorary doctorate. I mean, I'm not a medal collector, I have to say. I mean, I've got lots of trophies and stuff, but
I bet your mum looks after those though, doesn't she?
No, I've got those. Yeah. I wouldn't give. Yeah, she polish them. I don't dust them. No, yeah. And so, I mean, actually, I've got an MBE as well, but I don't even know where that is. If you ask me where the medal is, I think I know where it is roughly, but I don't walk around with it on my pajamas, So, trophies are good for validation. So at least I say, okay, people think I'm doing the right thing. My life is not about getting trophies, and fame must be a byproduct.
Absolutely.
Not the thing. If you want to be famous, take your clothes off and walk down the street and kill someone. You'll get famous.
Absolutely.
Why do you want to go on stage and learn to sing? Forget that. That's hard work.
The passion's got to be deep.
Yeah, it's got to be
meaningful.
Yeah. And fame should be a byproduct, not the thing you aim for.
On from that, leading on from that, how do you feel about youngsters these days? Who so many times I think that is just for the 15 minutes that you're doing. How do you feel about it?
Well, I think that's why I said it, because there's a sort of I mean, I have to blame programs like X Factor and stuff like that. So there's like quick fame formula, and a lot of videos nowadays, they've got the car. I mean, what's the car got to do with music? I don't understand. So they've got a big car, they've got girls in short skirts, and they're like...
No relevance to the words.
No relevance, and they're looking cool. And that is a culture. It's not what I would call music, it's what I call show business. So there's two businesses, music business and show business. And sometimes they overlap. I'm in the music business. I'm not a natural showman. Some people are in show business and they're using music to show off. I'm in show business. I'm in music business, not show business.
I want to know, to finish off, because my producer there is going like this. It means wrap it up. But when I'm in conversation, I'm somewhere else. I want to know, when you're not playing the tabla, what does Kuljit Bhambra do? To relax then?
To relax, I go to India twice a year, so I've got lots of friends in Mumbai. Our family have a house in Goa, so I go there, and I worked with Manjit a long time ago, and I have some very nice friends in Abedul, very good friends of mine. So I go to Bombay, I chill, then I go and sit on the beach for 2 weeks.
We'll have to catch up there. I go twice a year.
Oh, cool.
I was born there, but no, not in Goa, in Punjab.
Oh, I see.
But I've been here since I was 3. But there's that whole of India.
I love it.
It's just wonderful being there.
But otherwise, I'm busy creating. My mind is constantly making projects and trying to fix things. And I'm curious about everything. But so the thing about getting medals is it validates your life. So I'm going to keep doing that.
You just do.
I don't want to die half empty. I want to die fully empty.
When you get there, you're going at 90 miles an hour. Like the cliche goes, what a trip that was. We wish you the best.
Thank you very much.
Absolute pleasure.
No, thank you very much. And the sun's come out as well.
It has indeed. We managed to find a nice sunny little spot to chat.
In front of the whole world.
In front of the whole world. How delightful.
Looking for India.
Well, that looks like North America, South America. So it's
the other side,
We'll go and find it in a minute. Hope you've enjoyed our chat. I look forward to seeing you back on Soul to Soul very soon. Goodbye for now.